Welcome to another PC Sportscards PSA Submission Reveal. This is Josh with PC Sportscards. Today we have value 2022.36. It's a small value order, only 81 cards in this order for our customers. This order we received the cards from our customers. So door to door, we got the cards from our customers on July 20th, and we got this back on 10/5. Say we got it back yesterday, so just over 2.5 months door to door on this order, which is absolutely amazing for the value level. I think it's going to get a little bit faster. If you haven't seen our videos before, we do reveals of PSA orders going to PSA, coming back from PSA. We're going to be doing BGS orders. We did a video yesterday about grading to consignment, where people sent cards to us to sell for them. Showed you if there's value in those. Do a lot of stuff like that and some hobby information. If you're interested in that kind of stuff, hit that subscribe button, click the little bell to get alerts so you know whenever we go live. We're going to go through this video. We have 5 topics to talk about and some other stuff. First card, Desmond Bain, PSA 9 rookie. Tough grade. Obviously, that one was pretty off-center. First and foremost, let's talk about the big news in the grading community, where PSA announced last night that bulk is going to be $18 a card again. So I expect that we're going to be getting a lot of bulk orders in for PSA. 120-day projected turnaround. I think it's going to be a little bit faster than that. The other part of that is that the modern and pre-modern or vintage cutoff is now 1980 for the bulk orders instead of 1996. So that's really the biggest change. I think that PSA realized that they needed to get more cards in, and this is how they're going to do it. And I think this is a really, really good number. I know that when they did this for the July special, we got 10 or 12,000 cards in a couple of weeks, and that's with us having to charge 21 instead of charging 18. I have not looked at the numbers yet so far, but I think we have a couple thousand cards getting here or getting ready to get sent into PSA that we had backlogged and that we are sending in. For those that don't know, if you do have cards with us still that you've sent us, Gabe Davis, PSA 10, retail. If we have cards here for you that were sent in at the $24 bulk level, they will be honored at the $18 bulk level. If they're in the way here already, they're going to be honored at the $18 bulk level. If they're already a PSA, unfortunately, there's nothing we could do about it. Basically, if you're in bulk 2022.10 or older, the price is the price, and if you're in 2022.11 or newer, you will get the lower price of just $18 a card. I expect that we will be getting hundreds and thousands of cards a week at this level. Peyton Pritchard, these are good cards that were sent in. Perfect timing. Basketball season right around the corner. I love those cards. First card up for our conversation, Joe Burrow Supercharged. We talk about this a lot. We've talked about it with like Emergent and some of the other inserts in either Prism, Select, or Optic. As you could tell, this card's $3 raw. Somebody spent $30 to get this graded, and a PSA 10 goes for $65. Obviously, a PSA 9 would be a big loser. But if you look on the bottom of the screen right here, 144 out of 169 are PSA 10s, which means a couple things. Relatively easy to grade, and customers are picky with what they send in, and so they're making money on this card. At $18 a card with the new bulk level, this is the perfect card to send in. You have a good chance at getting a 10, and if you get a 9, you're going to lose, but not too much. And this is what grading was. This is what grading used to be. Grading used to be a 9 is at best a break even, and a 10 you're making money. You have to have the skill of looking the cards over. Just so you guys know, you folks know, in this order, 57% of the cards were 10s and 33% of the cards were 9s. So, and if somebody's getting 10s on Chronicle stuff, I know that they know what they're looking for when it comes to sending cards in. Because these cards traditionally have issues with the corners, and since they have the blue on the front or the black on the front or color on the front, you could usually see those issues. If this is your first time watching or you haven't watched in a while, you'll notice that we get a lot of comments on our videos, and that's because we like to make these videos as interactive as possible. We want to answer your questions, talk about your comments, You know, if you guys agree or disagree with us, please let us know. We're not here to say that we're an authority or we're the ones that know everything. We just see a lot of cards come in, and we're pretty good at buying and selling stuff. Jalen Waddle. So we like to give you what we think is good information. But if you agree or disagree, we'd love to hear from you. That's what these orders are about. I think at $18 a card, if you could find a card that's a 60 to 70% PSA 10 rate to double your money. So if it's a under $5 card or $5 to $10 card, $18 to grade, and you can get $40 to $50 out of it, I would definitely put those into the potential grading column if I know what I'm looking for in grading cards. Pretty straightforward math equation there. Obviously, if you don't know what you're looking for, it's harder. There are more expensive cards you could send in, and we have an example of a more expensive card later on in this submission that is profitable at a 9. We also have a card that is actually less expensive at a 9 than in Raw for some reason. I think it's weird, actually. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. Next up, and this is a good one to use as an example for low-end grading, because I know we've talked about this card in the past. I don't know what video is on. This card is cheap. It's $2 Raw. We actually graded a bunch of these, and we have sold, I think, all of the ones that we had in that $80 to $100 range. The last one actually did like $45 to $50. I think this chart is saying it did 75-ish. Guys, 340. The pop is already at 347 of 518, so 2/3 to get a PSA 10. The card is cheap. Would I grade it at $18? Yes. Would I grade it at any other number? No. By the time we look up, by the time the end of the year comes, this will be pop 2,000 to 3,000. So we're going to look at 10 times growth in grading of this card. Guys, write it down. Today is October 6th. I'm telling you, by December 31st, this is going to be over 2,000 of these graded in PSA 10s, which means they're going to be going for $30 to $40. So you could make money if you're getting 10s. I think 9s are going to be $15. And that is with the prediction of his performance being what we expect. If he blows up, that number's going to be a little higher. If he gets hurt, that number's going to be a little bit lower price-wise. But there will be thousands of that card in a PSA holder by the end of this year. Thousands. So be careful grading it, but that's the example of a card that when it first comes out and you send it in, send it at the $30 value so you get it back before somebody that's sending it the $24, $22, $18 bulk is getting it back. So you had the option here when this was sent in for the July special or for the value. And those July specials, while some are coming back already, they might come back a little too late. Next card up. This is going to be an interesting one. Joey Bart, rookie, Sapphire, PSA 10. Pop 3 of 3. This is a card that I would love to auction right now. This person they probably opened the box or a pack, but let's say they bought it for $5, $3 plus shipping, $5 on eBay, spent $30 on grading, into it for $35. I think they're going to get 50 plus for it right now. I think that's probably what it goes for, the first one that sells. But to me, this is the card that you grade before other people. Put it up at $59.99 or best offer. Somebody's going to offer you $45, you take it. I don't know how great the card is overall because Joey Bart wasn't very, very good this year, but you could still make money because you're one of the first people to have that card back. So that's another example of being in quick. If your plan with these cards is to grade and to speculate to make money through grading, you need to be prepared to send them in immediately, prepared to pay a slight premium to make sure you're getting them back faster, and be willing to sell right away. Speculating with grading doesn't mean speculating long-term with the cards. It means getting the money and moving on to the next one. If you're speculating with the cards, you may want to look at buying already graded cards instead. I mean, you could do both. You could obviously grade to hold to speculate, but I think you have more opportunity picking one and sticking with it rather than trying to do both. I think you have more upside that way. Ronaldo 9, that's a cool card. I haven't seen one of those in a while. Mac Silver 8. Nicely centered. There's a print line right over here. I don't know if you can see it on the screen. Yep, you can see it right there by my thumb. I don't think that would make it an 8, though. Mac Obsidian. This is just a card I would never grade. Thick card, tough grade. I don't think people care if this, even though it's numbered to 50, I don't think people care if this card is graded or not. Not a card I'm grading. NFL debut white mosaic. If this is a 10, it's a good card. I don't know. I think there's profit here. I typically wouldn't submit the debuts and stuff like that. I would just submit, I mean, that's numbered to 80, the Red Fusion. I would just submit the regular card because less people care about the fusions, the debuts, I mean. Joe Burrow, Green Velocity. This is the card we were talking about earlier. This is the $100 to $125 raw. A PSA 9 sells for $160. I mean, Burrow's been good. Those dates are only 2 days apart, though, so we're not looking at a big time change from raw to PSA 9. And a PSA 10 goes for $400. I'm seeing these numbers, and I'm saying, okay, I have an opportunity here to buy this card and grade it. A good chance, 350 out of 466 to get a 10. Add the chance, make the chance better because I know what I'm looking for when I grade a card, right? That I can get a 10 on this card because I know what to look for to not send in the one that's going to get a 9. And even if I get a 9, I'm still making money. It might go back to even, but for $18 or for $30, this is worth it. So this is a card that if I weren't 100% sure I'm getting a 10, I'm going to send it in at the bulk level. And if I get upcharged to the $30, so be it, because I'm making a lot more money than that and I didn't take as much of a risk. And at this point, we're not rushing to get football back. I think that bulk and value will be coming back relatively close, as we're seeing right now with the numbers. So I'm not really sold on spending extra money to grade a lot of these cards if they're close. Now, if it's a $500 raw card that's $500 as a PSA 9, I'm immediately setting that at value because I know I'm going to get upcharged no matter what, right? But if it's like $150, $200 raw, $150, $200 is a 9, I'm probably sending in at that 9 level just to be safe in case I don't get a 10. Pink Velocity 1179. This is a cool card. Tough timing on the Tua stuff. But these were the right cards. I mean, if he didn't get hurt, this would be an amazing submission. Jalen Hurts. It's a really, really good sub. Mini gold border. Harper rookie. Wow, that's a tough grade. I'm sure that's a nice card. Seager Archives. All right. And we're getting down to the end. We have one more topic that we're going to talk about as we get to the end. Saquon Gold Hollow. Not a card I'd grade, probably. I see the white chipping on the top. Again, Jonathan Taylor jersey card. I don't know many people that are paying a premium for it now. If I'm collecting this card, sure. No problem. Definitely grading it if that's what I want in my collection. But if I'm speculating with grading to make money on that, I'm not grading it. Okay, so now here we go. Last but not least. Oops. Oh, that is right. Oh, no. It saved the wrong thing. All right, well, unfortunately, I don't have the information that I put together for this one because it's saved over it for some reason. But Jalen Hurts Silvers, I know what it said. They're $200 to $250 raw. They're about $120 as a PSA 9 and $1,000 as a PSA 10. In all reality, guys, I'm buying PSA 9s of this card right now. I think it's undervalued. There are only 100-something PSA 10s, and there's over 350 PSA 9s. So it's a very, very, very tough grade. This card was $400 2 weeks ago as a PSA 10, just so you know. Mosaic, Jamar Chase. So that's one of those cards that I think that 9s should actually be worth a little more than raw because it's a tough card to get a 10 on. So I think 9s are actually extremely undervalued on that card, or raw are extremely overvalued because people think they have a shot at a 10 when they really don't. I would bet on 9s being undervalued and having the potential to go to that $200 to $250 range. So that's why I personally would be buying that card graded instead of buying it raw trying to get a 10. I think there's easier opportunity to profit from PSA 9s of that card than there are of raw to get a 10. You need to go 1 out of 5, basically. 2 out of 5. 1 out of 4, something like that. I love these cards. I would never grade them. They're impossible to get grades on. And again, I don't know who's paying a premium for a field pass, like a horizontal card like this in a PSA holder or a BGS holder or any holder. I'd rather this card in a mag sitting on my desk this way than whatever grade it is. So like I don't see the value of grading in that kind of card. All right, well, this is the end of it. Jonathan Taylor out tonight. So my Nyheim Hines is going to be in for me, so that's good for my fantasy squad. And that's what we got for you today, folks. Again, we're going to try to do more of these. Happy we were able to get 2 up a week. If you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button, click the little bell to get alerts, and we look forward to the next one. Thank you so much.